Number 1. Cluster headaches.
Overies.
Hello guys, quick update. I don't know what I have right now. I'm about to go through surgery right now.
What you just saw was I am show speed with a cluster headache. Cluster headaches are the real deal when it comes to giving you sleepless nights. First of all, they cause severe one-sided head pain, which lasts for at least 30 minutes before giving you a short break and then happen again.
Bruh.
Ironically speaking, these types of headaches usually tend to follow a specific pattern, such that they show up at the same time each day. Cluster headaches are the only types of headaches which give you a tuition break before they come back again. What I mean here is that they last for several months at a time before stopping and coming back later when the break is over. They can cause severe pain around the eye, usually on one side of the head, and the pain can be so severe that it feels like it's stabbing, sharp, or burning rather than throbbing. They also start suddenly and can occur in groups or clusters and can last from 15 minutes to several hours. The pain can also radiate to other parts of the head, including the face, neck, and shoulders. It may also be present in a temple or a cheek, but still on one side of the head. Sometimes individuals who experience these kinds of headache usually tend to commit suicide in a bid to end it all. Number 2. Corneal flash burns. You know that painful laceration you can have on your skin after a rash, burn, or an allergy? Now, put all of that on your eyes. The cornea is usually a thin layer of tissue that covers your eyes and helps to filter light into your eyes. Exposing your eyes to so much light, like from welding or even just staring at a very bright light source like sunlight, can lead to burns to your cornea, causing temporary blindness, inflammation, and other serious long-term side effects. Corneal flash burns are usually very painful and can even be so discomforting to a person experiencing it. Imagine being in so much pain, crying only for your own tears to stab you in the back. Yes, crying only exacerbates the situation even more, leading to even more pain. And as if that wasn't enough, when the eye begins to heal, the patient is forbidden from even blinking it, as blinking literally sheds off the healing layer that had formed, thus restarting the process again. And bruh, it will hurt like hell. Number 3. Platypus sting. Known to be one of the 2 egg-laying mammals around the globe, the platypus is one calm mammal that inhabits the continent of Australia. The male platypus usually has an ankle spur on their hind legs which contain a very toxic venom. This barb and the venom combination can cause massive amounts of discomfort to the person who comes in contact with it, and many of those who have been stung by a platypus usually end up with tales of how the sting was painful and how it caused the swelling in the stung area. After you have been stung by a platypus, there is usually an immediate pain that is enough to shock the hell out of you, so much so that you may even wish you were dead.
Bruh.
And as if that wasn't enough, the spurs from the platypus do not usually come out with ease. The barb will continue to stay inside you, injecting venom into your body until it's finally removed. By the way, here's a fun fact. It's actually super difficult to remove it by yourself because due to the way the barbs are, if you do try to remove it yourself, you might pull a good chunk out of your skin. Number 3. Toothache. Almost all of us have experienced a toothache at one point, and in my personal experience, they hurt but not as much as the few unbearable ones I'm gonna explain in a few. And one of them is pulpitis. Pulpitis is usually an infection in the pulp of the tooth. It all starts when activated enzymes cause the breakdown of proteins, creating pus and leading to severe pain in pulpitis acuta purulenta. If left unattended, the infection grows until putrefactive gases start to spill into the nerve tissue, and since the teeth can't swell, the whole process ends up becoming a living hell to the patient. To add insult to injury, the nerves in there are all hooked up directly to the brain, thus leaving no escape room for pain. So the whole painful experience sticks around your head like there's some sort of pressure inside you. You will then end up skirmishing on the ground like a snake that has its head cut off, and my friend, you will feel like ending the whole thing. You think that's enough? Wait till you hear of trigeminal neuralgia. It's called suicide disease for a reason. The case of Dorian Thompson is one I would never wish on even my worst enemy. Dorian Thompson allegedly killed himself after 6 years of battling a very severe toothache. Mr. Thompson experienced throbbing pain in every tooth for 6 years long, and this caused him to lose his sleep and miss on meals, leading to malnutrition. During those times, Thompson's life almost entirely depended on morphine to help relieve the pain, which, of course, didn't help that much. In addition to this throbbing pain, Thompson suffered a temporomandibular joint disorder, and for those of you who don't know what this is, temporomandibular joint disorder is usually associated with a weak jaw joint that is unable to support the jaws. Seeing that he was unable to bear all of this any longer, Thompson allegedly decided to commit suicide. You see, trigeminal neuralgia usually happens when the trigeminal nerve, which supplies feeling to your teeth, becomes hypersensitive, leading to intense pain when stimulated. Stimulation in this case could range from anything minimal like brushing a thread on your cheek. Number 5. Twisted balls. Picture yourself waking up in a very intense pain in your balls one early morning. You start sweating profusely, you develop a nausea-like feeling, swollen balls, and your face looks exactly like that of an old man doing his usual thing on the toilet. After realizing that something awful with your balls, you only look down to see your balls looking like a tied-up shoelace. You see, testicular torsion is an emergency condition that only happens when the spermatic cord, which provides blood flow to the testicle, rotates and becomes twisted. As a result, the twisting cuts off blood supply to the testicles, leading to sudden pain and swelling. The majority of occurrences of testicular torsion occur in individuals with a condition known as, and bro, this medical name is funny as hell, bell clapper deformity. While most males have their testicles firmly attached to the scrotum, which prevents twisting, those with bell clapper deformity have unsecured testicles that can freely move and twist within the scrotum. This condition can happen to males of any age, but it's mostly quite common to 12 to 18-year-olds. Testicular torsion can happen while someone is sleeping, after an injury to the scrotum, or after strenuous exercise. Number 6. Twisted ovaries. Just like twisted balls, ovular torsion is not something you can really play with. It usually occurs when the ovary twists over the ligaments that support it in the adnexa. Not to get into so much biological details, but the ovary is usually supported by multiple structures and ligaments in the pelvis. Females suffering from this condition usually complain of severe pain that radiates around the abdominal area and lasts for as long as it has not been managed. And if you thought this one ain't serious, just remember that ovarian torsion is an emergency case and needs to be surgically managed. Otherwise, you might end up suffering from necrosis, ovary loss, or even infertility if not addressed promptly. Number 7. Breaking the femur bone. The femur is usually the longest and strongest bone in your body, and it plays a crucial role in supporting the body when walking or standing upright. When you break your femur, you're cooked. The end. Nah, but in all seriousness, breaking a femur is awful. The femur bone also supports a lot of your muscles, tendons, ligaments, and parts of your circulatory system. Not only will you usually experience a sudden pain that never stops, with that comes a horrific, bloody mess. Number 8. Kidney stones. Also referred to as renal calculi, nephrolithiasis, or urolithiasis, kidney stones are hard deposits made of minerals and salts that form inside of your kidneys. They can affect any part of your urinary tract and form when urine becomes concentrated, allowing minerals to crystallize and stick together. If a kidney stone becomes lodged in the ureters, it may block the flow of urine and cause the kidney to swell and the ureter to spasm, which honestly could end up being very painful. To be exact on this, people with kidney stones feel a severe, intense discomfort on the side and back beneath the ribs, with pain spreading to lower abdomen and groin, characterized by fluctuating intensity and wave-like sensations, and for those who make a mistake to go and urinate, always live to tell a story. I was also a little curious doing my research and found this picture of the largest kidney stone. Imagine that fucking up your urinary tract. Number 9. Gout. Imagine that you've just woken up from your comfy bed one early morning, and then, as usual, you stretch every part of your body, flex the joints, and then in the process you find your big toe still stiff, red, swollen, and very painful when you try moving it. Funnily enough, you think that it's still sleeping or maybe gone on a strike that day. Let me disappoint you on this, but you could be having gout. Okay, I didn't mean to scare you, but this one is usually a common and complex form of arthritis that mainly attacks joints. It is sudden and occurs when urate crystals accumulate in your joint, causing inflammation and intense pain. The worst part of it is that it discourages you from ever hitting on anything or even doing any movement of the affected joint. In the end, you end up stuck and unable to do anything that will exacerbate the pain, which is often said to be intolerable, sharp, and pricking. Number 10. Peripheral neuropathy. It's usually a stabbing feeling in the nerves. The peripheral nerves are nerves that are located outside of the central nervous system. In this case, people who have this condition will tell you how it feels like having a bunch of ants crawling around you, only this time but with a strong stabbing feeling. For those who haven't been in medical school, peripheral nerves are actually nerves that send information from the brain and the spinal cord to the body and vice versa. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, and remember, knowledge is power. Cheers!
Knowledge.